The security guard didn't look at my face when he stopped me. His eyes stayed on the clipboard, like I was an error he didn't want to acknowledge. "Sir, you can wait outside." The music inside swelled. Applause. Crystal glasses clinking, a celebration built on polished lies. I leaned slightly to the side and saw her through the open doors. My wife. Red dress, confident posture, that familiar smile she used when she wanted something from someone who mattered. She caught my eye. Didn't look surprised. She smirked. Then, without standing, without lowering her voice, she said to the man beside her, loud enough for me to hear, "Why would we waste a seat on him?" Laughter followed, not hers alone. I looked around. Every other table had couples. Husbands, wives, partners leaning in, sharing quiet pride. At her table, the empty chair beside her wasn't empty. A man sat there. Close. Too close. His hand rested casually on the back of her chair, fingers brushing fabric I had once memorized in the dark. She laughed again. I didn't feel anger, not yet. I felt something colder, the kind of clarity that arrives when the last illusion finally dies. I took out my phone, opened a contact I hadn't used in months. CEO. Typed one sentence. Check your email. I didn't wait for a response. I turned around and shut the door behind me. The night air was sharp, clean, honest. Inside, she was pretending again. Or maybe she'd stopped pretending long before tonight, and I was the last to know. That was the real betrayal. Not the man, not the seat, but the certainty in her eyes when she dismissed me, like I was already erased. I replayed the past year with surgical precision. Late meetings that never had minutes, awards she didn't want me to attend, a phone that never left her hand except when it faced down. I remembered the way she'd started correcting people when they called her my wife. Just me, she'd say. A joke. A warming. I told myself I was being paranoid, that successful women drift, that marriages evolve. I chose silence because silence was easier than truth. Until tonight. Until I saw how easily she replaced me at her table. I didn't feel heartbreak. I felt insulted, and insult is dangerous when paired with preparation. The email I sent wasn't emotional. It was organized. Bank transfers, internal audit flags, private calendar invites that didn't match official travel records. Things I had noticed, saved, waited on. I'd hoped I was wrong. Hope is a weakness I've since corrected. I didn't confront her that night. I never raise my voice when I'm still gathering facts. Instead, I watched. I watched her routine tighten. Shorter excuses, sharper patience. I watched the man from the ceremony appear more often in her life, disguised as coincidence, a colleague, a consultant. I pulled phone records, cross-referenced locations. Patterns don't lie. People do. I found a second apartment leased under a shell company tied to her department. Company funds. Creative accounting. I stayed calm. Cooked dinner. Asked about her day. She lied smoothly. Professionally. I admired that about her once. At night, when she slept beside me, I stared at the ceiling and felt the slow burn of understanding. This wasn't an affair. It was a transition. I was the old position she was quietly phasing out. So I prepared. I forwarded everything to the CEO anonymously first, then again under my name. Timing matters. I waited for the award ceremony because ego makes people careless, because power feels safest when the lights are brightest. My phone rang 10 minutes after I left the building. I didn't answer. It rang again, then a third time. When I finally picked up, the CEO didn't greet me. "What the hell did you send me?" he asked. "Everything," I said. Silence. Inside, I imagined it unfolding. The email opening, the attachments loading, the realizations settling in. I heard shouting through the phone. Muffled. Panicked. Then another voice. Hers. Sharp at first. Confused. Then afraid. The call ended abruptly. I didn't need to be there to see it. I already knew how it would look. The VP running out of the hall, security whispering, the lover stepping back, suddenly unemployed. Truth has weight, and it always drops straight down. She came home after midnight.
No makeup, no confidence, just rage wrapped around fear. You planned this, she said. I didn't deny it. I slid a folder across the table. Divorce papers. Printed. Signed. You used company funds, I said calmly. You violated policy. You humiliated me publicly. Her voice cracked. I was going to tell you.
I almost laughed. When? I asked. After you made it official? She reached for me. I stepped back. That hurt her more than any accusation. I didn't ruin you, I said. I just stopped protecting you. She collapsed into the chair. I watched her break without feeling satisfaction, only completion. The house feels larger now, quieter, cleaner. I don't miss her voice. I don't miss the lies. I miss the man I was before I learned how disposable love can be when ambition gets bored. But I won't become him again. She lost her job, her reputation, him. I lost an illusion. That's a fair trade. Some people walk away damaged. Others walk away awake. I turned off the lights, locked the door, and left without looking back. Because the moment she chose to erase me, I learned how to disappear on my own terms.